All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Sports Talk Detroit. If you've been here, you know about our channel. Please like, subscribe. If you haven't done that already, we want to be your go-to source for Detroit Lions sports. So this one is kind of interesting because everything seemed to go wrong kind of the last 2 weeks. Turnovers were crazy, right? It feels like for the last 3 weeks, the defense has been a sieve, like it's just leaking and leaking and leaking. And we lost. We lost to the Green Bay Packers at home on Thanksgiving. But despite all of that, things are looking up in Motown. And I'm going to tell you why. And you know what? Just to make life easier, playoff picture update. Detroit Lions get big. All right. I want to make sure everybody understands this. Big help from the Chicago Bears. All right. They're going to get some big help from the Chicago Bears. And we knew this. The Chicago Bears they haven't been playing well. And in an extremely ugly game, they went out and did us a huge favor and beat the Minnesota Vikings. And how did they beat the Minnesota Vikings, you might ask? Turnovers. The exact same way that the Lions lost against the Packers, the Vikings did the same thing against the Chicago Bears. So here's why this is such a big deal. I think, yes, their odds to get the number one seed, okay, took a hit, probably disappeared. All right. Because we've lost now 3 games in the NFC. So the Eagles are going to have to lose 3 more games in order for us to get ahead of them. Our odds for getting home field advantage, we just got to keep winning games. All right. But let's look at what's important, because right now, what we want as Detroit Lions fans is a NFC North division title. We want the first division title since 1991 and the first ever NFC North title for the Detroit Lions. Because if you remember in 1991, it was the Central. And so we have never won the North. That is only 4 teams. And so just odds would say if everything was even, you'd win the division every 4 years. Everything is not even. All right. So when we look at this team, we are 8-3. That is, if you do simple math, a 2.5 game lead over the Minnesota Vikings. The Green Bay Packers and us have split our games. So that means it goes to best record in division, which so far is us. All right. Even though we've only beat the Bears 1 time and we've yet to play the Vikings. So it is a 2.5 game lead on the division. And it looks like Josh Dobbs, the quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, is absolutely coming back to life. All right. I would say he is not the exact same guy that we saw before. He is the guy that, yes, went 1-7 or 1-8 with the Arizona Cardinals. He did some amazing things when he came in and started playing in Minnesota, but he still is a quarterback that is not there. In fact, at this point, based on what the Minnesota Vikings did against the Chicago Bears and what the Green Bay Packers have done, when you are looking at they beat the Chargers at home and then they go in and they beat us, the Detroit Lions, in Ford Field, I would say that there's a chance that your biggest threat to the division might actually be the Green Bay Packers, not the Minnesota Vikings. And I think it's crazy that I'm saying this, because last week I was sitting here saying, prove to me. I mean, I was very simply saying, prove to me that the Green Bay Packers are better than the Chicago Bears. And I was like, I don't think they are. There were so many injuries. We had Jason on from Sports Talk Wisconsin, and we were talking about this, and he was confident, of course, in his Packers, and he ended up making a really good prediction, which I hate to admit. All right. But like all those things, I think the Packers, if Jordan Love is playing at the same level he's played at for the last 2 weeks, if he's finally starting to get comfortable in this offense, that's the team you have to look out for. But with that team, we have a 3-game lead, with 6 games to play. So that would mean that we would have to go, if we went 2-4 and they went 4-2, we'd still win the division. There's a good chance, a very good chance, that if we go 2-4 down the stretch, that 10-7 mark is enough to get us the division as long as we beat the Vikings in one of those 2 wins. All right. So that's the good news on the division side. What about people outside the division? I don't even think you need to worry like about outside the division. All right. We know top 3 advance. The Vikings and Packers are 3 and 4. So right now, even if we were to swap, I would say that even if one of them finds a way to win the division, we're going to get the wild card. You got the Rams, the Saints. Saints, no, they're not real. They're playing in a bad division, so they have a chance to win some more games, but they're not real. The Rams are the only team that might actually be real and might climb their way up there. I would not be surprised if the Rams were able to sneak up. And I just realized that as I was talking about all this, I wasn't showing you the actual record. So there you go. Now you can see my screen as well. You're probably like, what is this dude talking about? Look, I'm not perfect. Not even close. So anyways, this is just kind of where I'm at. And I think like it's not time to panic. Even though we lost to the Green Bay Packers, our division lead is still intact. It is still 2.5 games, just like it was last week. And we're playing another team that's had their own turnover problems with the New Orleans Saints. Michael Thomas is out. He just got put on IR. Chris Olave has a concussion. I don't know when he's coming back. Like, they are dealing with a lot of stuff over there in New Orleans. So, hey, I think we're still in a good shape. I really do. Let me know. Are you panicked or are you pretty confident we make the playoffs? Because if I bring you back to the beginning of the season, the goal, right, was playoffs. The goal was let's make the playoffs. The goal was win the division. So if we do that at 10-7, if we do that at 11-6, or if we do that at 13-4, like, and we get a home field playoff game and we win a playoff game, does it matter if it was a 10-7 record? Does it matter what the end of the year looked like? Or does it matter that we made the playoffs? Does it matter that we have a home playoff game? Does it matter that we win that home playoff game? That's the argument. Doesn't matter how you get there. All that matters is, do you get there? All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.